Today's episode of the Life in Attleboro podcast is proudly presented by Confidence Fitness. If there's one thing in life that we have at least a little control over, it's our health, what we decide to eat, and how much we decide to move our bodies. That's why I'm excited about this exclusive offer just for listening to the Life in Attleboro podcast. Confidence Fitness is offering a 2-week jumpstart program for just $99. It includes 6 small group personal training sessions so you can start building strength and muscle. You'll also receive their food and mood journal to get you thinking about what foods to eat and how they impact your body and mind. And you'll also get an in-body scan to measure your current body composition. All you have to do is go to lifeinattleboro.com and you'll see the link right there on our homepage. I'll also include the link in the show notes of this episode. Confidence Fitness is located at 453 South Main Street. Confidence Fitness. Strength for life, strength for sports. And now, on to the show. You are listening to the Life in Attleboro podcast, where we interview the city's most interesting people who are making a positive difference in our community. Hey everyone, I'm the host of the Life in Attleboro podcast, Mike Sullivan. My guest today is AJ Robinson. He's the owner of AJ's Pizza, located at 89 Pleasant Street in Attleboro. AJ caught my attention with his Facebook posts. The food always looks amazing, and he also delivers on personality and humor. So I walked into his pizza shop, shook his hand, and asked him if he'd be a guest on the podcast, and he took me up on it. AJ told me what it takes to produce the perfect pizza pie and all those delicious dishes on his menu, and he also told me about his hidden talent, which he admits helps him get through some very long work weeks to help support his family. And if episode 20 of the Life in Attleboro podcast leaves you feeling hungry, no worries. You can find a link to AJ's specials in the show notes of this episode. I actually saw a Facebook post, and you're very popular on Facebook. We'll get to that in a few minutes, but you hand toss the dough and you get it super fresh. And you had a post about that the other day. Can you talk about the dough process?
It's funny because I had never done pizza before. I've been in the business a long time. And I said, I'm not going to toss the dough. I'm not that type of guy. And they said, somebody told me, what do you mean? You have to toss the dough. That's how it stretches evenly. So it's not difficult, but it's part of the process. It helps the dough stretch better and a little bit more evenly.
Okay.
But I don't make my own dough. I've always said that if somebody can do it better than me, I let them. And I get dough from a company that I've been dealing with for over 5 years. And to me, it's better than any dough I've ever tasted. My customers seem to agree.
Excellent. Well, sounds like one difference for sure. So what kind of variety do you offer? You got pizza, wings, and then I saw the other day a lobster roll. What else can we get at AJ?
My menu is a little extensive, perhaps maybe too much, but I like to offer different things to people. The lobster roll is a seasonal thing, and I've actually gone away from it because the cost is high right now, and I try and, as I always say, that quality and value are the cornerstones of our business. So if something costs a lot of money and I have to charge more money for it, I don't really find the value in it. So I abandoned the lobster rolls for this year. I had a couple of them, but as far as what we offer, chicken is probably our biggest seller outside of pizza, and that's because I use fresh chicken only, and we soak in buttermilk, and I believe it makes a huge difference. I cut my own steak tips. I cut my own veal. We're about 90-95% scratch kitchen. Of course, some things come out of a can. They have to, but for the most part, it's all from scratch and quality again.
Yeah, I want to actually add to that. Was cooking always a big focal point with your family?
Our biggest selling appetizer are our grandma's famous jumbo sticky wings. And it's not generations, although I don't know where she got it from. It's my mom's recipe and her contribution to the menu. And I remember growing up, we just couldn't get enough of them. I actually particularly prefer them cold the next day, but we sell a ton of them, and I always thought she was the best cook there was, but I didn't start my career till later on, and after high school I never really cooked that much. So my grandfather was a butcher, so there's some food in our past, but it was mostly my mom that did the majority of the cooking.
So how long have you been in the food business then, and why do you enjoy having your own spot right here in Attleboro?
So I've been in the business since when I went to school, 82 through 86 at Johnson & Wales, and I was working dead-end jobs, and my mom said, what do you think about being a chef? And I didn't even know what that was, and I took a tour of Johnson and Wales, and all the stainless and all the uniforms that they had me hooked. I was like a kid in a candy store. So I took to it, and then I got in with a good outfit. I worked for the 99 for almost 20 years. And between Johnson Wales and the 99, they really trained me well. The reason I like the industry is it's new all the time. You never know what you're going to go into. So it's not mundane, it's not monotonous, and you can make a big difference in customer satisfaction just by caring. All you have to do is care, follow certain policies, and it's very gratifying when somebody says, oh, I love your food. That's what
Amen.
I hear the most.
Amen to that. So you've been in business at your current location on Pleasant Street for a little more than a year now. Do you have any stories that kind of stick with you, either good or bad, either at the current location or just throughout?
When I decided to try my own venture, it was actually in Norton, and we were successful over there. And I have lived in Attleboro on 3 separate occasions. It's always been near and dear to my heart. I used to live near Capron Park, and then over by La Salette. And I like the town. It appeals to me. It's a blue-collar town. It's salt of the earth people. And when this location opened up and it was named Family Pizza, I said, that's perfect for me. As far as stories and stuff, it's been pretty, I don't want to say mundane, but there hasn't been too much out of the ordinary going on here. It's just trying to get people to change habits, because you've already got a pizza shop you go to. It's not, hey, you want to try the new place? Why? You already get pizza. Not really too many stories other than water coming through the ceiling and having to close and stuff like that. But it's part of the business.
I gotcha. So when I walked into your business a few weeks ago and asked if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, I could immediately tell that you had a personality, and I love it. You were multitasking with a phone in one hand, trying to handle an issue from the day before, and you were coordinating with me at the same time, and it was super impressive, AJ, I got to admit. And I think your personality is one reason why you have thousands of followers on Facebook, thousands. You get really good engagement online, and I think your personality shines through in your Facebook posts alone, and people really enjoy that. So kudos to you. Is that one of the ways that you get people to become a customer and just connect with you?
I was taught at an early age that this is the hospitality industry. And I don't think there's a lot of people left that understand that. They just think it's a business. And it really isn't. You're not supposed to let your customers know that it's a business. They're out to either have a good time or whatever. Over the years, I just became a little bit more engaging with the customers, because that's how you find out whether you're doing the right thing or not, is by asking people. One thing that I've always prided myself is there's nobody in my restaurant here or when I worked for somebody else that I didn't check on to see how the quality of their food was. All restaurants, they promote it or they say you got to do table touches, but no manager's ever come to me when I've been at a restaurant. But at some of the other places, I've always gone over. I usually ask the kids because they don't lie. But I like to have fun. I think I have a dry sense of humor, but I like to joke around with people. And yeah, I do believe that helps. I think people want to be treated special and not just like a number. I forget everybody's name. I have the worst, but I get regulars. I talk to them, and I treat them special because they are special to me. It's not. You can't fake it. You can't fake it. People will know. So it is genuine. I will say that about myself. If I say something, you can take it to the bank. I really mean it. Yeah,
I can. Through our conversation, I could feel all that, and I agree with you. That was a great answer, AJ. Just those little touch points, they add up, and that's how I create that connection. So kudos to you, sir. Are you ready for the rapid fire round?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's do it. You're a pizza guy. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Believe it or not, cheese.
Cheese. Yes. I'm right there with you.
I do not like meat on pizza. I will do veggies. We make one here. It's called the Mediterranean with a garlic olive oil base and eggplant, roasted red peppers, feta cheese. That one's pretty good. but just give me a plain old cheese pizza and I'm happy.
Right there with you, AJ. So besides AJ's family pizza and barbecue, what's your favorite restaurant in the city of Attleboro?
Ooh, in the city of Attleboro.
Put you on the spot.
I like it. I like El Azteca, which is right around next to me. I've eaten at Papagayo's, which is directly next to me. But I'll tell you that I'm a person of habit, and my wife and I, we love sushi. So usually when I dine out, it's someplace that has sushi. Not a lot of sushi in this area. I know there's one on Route 1. But we go more near our house in Taunton. Unfortunately, I'm not a huge, and I work all the time. By the time I get out of work, everybody's closed.
That was actually my next question, but what do you like to do when you're not at AJ's?
I consider myself a very well-rounded person. I like golf and skiing. I like to spend time with my family. I'm an avid motorcycle rider. I like to sing. That's probably my number one passion in life is singing. So I'll hit the karaoke tour and play guitar. And that's pretty much it. I love animals. Got a cat at home. But I work so much. I work over 80 hours a week. Most of my time is horizontal, trying to get some rest.
Good for you. I just learned a lot about you right there, AJ. So that all matches up to the personality that I can feel through the microphone here. How long have you sang and played guitar for?
So I picked up the guitar in college. I had very short fingers, so guitar was really difficult for me. So I just really do that mostly as a way to accompany myself singing. And I've pretty much sang since I was 5 years old. Nothing professional. Nothing, never had any voice training. It makes me feel alive. So as far as going out places and doing karaoke, probably for the last 30 years or so.
What's your go-to karaoke jam?
I'm stuck in the 70s. I'm 63 years old. What I do, though, is I used to have a sweeter voice. It used to not be as raspy as it is now. So what I try and do is not sing like somebody else. I either put my own spin on it. I'll either sing female songs because there's no way they're going to say, hey, you sound just like last night. But I like doing women's songs. Believe it or not, Karen Carpenter is my favorite female vocalist.
Okay.
So it would be that. And then the other thing is a little morbid, but I like to sing dead people's songs, people that have passed. So Lou Rawls, Robert Palmer, things of that nature.
Keep the legacy going. Love that.
The 70s and 80s.
I love it. Next question. Ice cream or candy? Sweet tooth?
Oh, my God. I wouldn't be able to choose. I guess I would choose candy over ice cream. It's awful. I buy 3 different tubs of ice cream, one for my son, one for my wife, and one for me, and I end up eating all 3. And
I love it.
You can't keep candy in the house because I just will not stop eating it, so I'm not allowed to have candy in the house. But I have it here for free. If you want to come in, I give it away for Halloween. So.
There you go. That's good to know. Are you chocolate, gummies, or it doesn't matter? You'll crush all of it.
Wait, you're asking horrible questions. I love chocolate.
You're giving great answers, AJ.
I love gummies. Nerds of all the things. Nerds. I like those things, but my son and I share our passion for Sour Patch. We like sour stuff. But he can't keep up with me. I can devour a whole bag, and of course, I'm dreading it later when I have that sour stomach from all that sugar and stuff. But
you've mentioned family quite a few times. So how long have you been married, and you have a son? How old?
I have 2 children. I have one
2 children.
Previous marriage, and she's amazing. She's 35, and then I got a 14-year-old with my current wife. We've been married 16 years now.
Nice.
Good thing into that. And family. Growing up, I had great parents, but we weren't all that close. I was not that close to my brothers as far as doing stuff together. And then as I got older, I was like, family's the only thing that really matters. So outside of family, I could care less about anything else pretty much.
Amen. Family and health, top 2. Absolutely. Cats or dogs?
I've had both. I prefer cats for sure. Dogs take way too much effort. I mentioned my daughter. She's a dog person. She has 2 of the best-looking corgis I've ever seen. And I've always been a cat person. I could live with 20 of them if it wasn't for the smell of the litter box.
Good stuff. AJ, is there anything else you'd like the people of Attleboro to know?
Just, I guess the only thing I would say is that we're a family-owned operation. The only reason I'm here is to try and support my wife and son. Otherwise, I'd probably retire off into obscurity. But I care. I really care, and so do my workers. My employees show just as much effort and concern for the quality of the food. And I have a standing rule. Everything's subjective. If you don't like the food here, call me up because I will replace it. I believe 100% that customer satisfaction is not only the best way, but really the only way to make it work, especially under the current conditions with the economy and post-COVID and everything, because the restaurant industry is really hurting.
Yeah, I can tell, AJ, that you truly do care about the work and passion that goes into making the food and how much you guys care about your customers. So I appreciate that. AJ Robinson, owner of AJ's Family Pizza and Barbecue, located at 89 Pleasant Street. Give it a try if you haven't yet, guys. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Life in Attleboro podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
I really hope you enjoyed our conversation with AJ from AJ's Family Pizza on Pleasant Street in Attleboro. Again, if you'd like to check out his specials, you can find that in the link in the show notes below. Hey, I want to tell you about our new sponsor, Hoban Accounting Services. If you're a small business owner, you know how much of a hassle it can be to keep track of every penny earned and every penny spent. But thankfully, Hoban Accounting Services is on a mission to heal your headaches and fizzle your frustration when it comes to crunching those pesky numbers. Hoban Accounting Services has helped local businesses for more than 7 years. That's when Nicole Hoban, a proud mother of twin girls, launched her business. She's a QuickBooks Pro advisor with tons of awards to her name. If you mention the Life in Attleboro podcast, you'll get 10% off for your first 6 months. If you'd like to support a small business owner in our city, just tap the link in the show notes of this episode, and Nicole will be in touch. Hoban Accounting Services. A great bookkeeper should be an asset, not an expense. Can you please do me a favor? If you haven't already, can you please subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star review, and most importantly, sign up for our email list. You'll enjoy exclusive benefits, including early access to every new podcast episode, special savings at Attleboro restaurants and businesses, behind-the-scenes videos and insight, and you'll stay in the know about cool events in our great city. Just go to lifeinattleboro.com, and you'll see the sign-up display right there on the homepage. And if you know someone who would make a great guest on our podcast, please shoot us an email at lifeinattleboro@gmail.com. That's it for today. Life in Attleboro is a great thing. Support our community, promote positivity, and make a stranger smile. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Life in Attleboro podcast.